The night was quiet in the small mountain town of Ravenhill. The stars above were clear, and the wind moved slowly through the trees. Eli Carter, a 17-year-old boy, sat alone on the roof of his house. He liked the silence. No one bothered him up here. Life was boring in Ravenhill, until that night. Suddenly, the sky lit up with a strange blue light. A loud sound broke the silence. Boom! Eli stood up quickly and looked to the east. Something had crashed in the forest nearby. Smoke rose in the distance. Birds flew out of the trees. What was that? He whispered. Then, something strange happened. A voice echoed in his head. It was soft, like a whisper, but clear. Help me, please. Eli looked around. Who's there? There was no one. The voice was not outside. It was inside his mind. I don't have much time. I'm scared. Eli felt a chill. The voice was not human. It sounded young and afraid. Without thinking, he climbed down from the roof, grabbed a flashlight, and ran into the dark forest. His heart was beating fast. The forest was quiet, too quiet. The smoke was stronger now. The trees were burnt in a small circle, and the ground was hot. In the middle, he saw it, a strange object like a pod, glowing faint blue. One side was broken. And next to it was a girl. She looked 16 or 17, with silver white hair and glowing skin. Her eyes were closed. She was injured, her arms shaking. And she was not human. Eli stepped back. But then, her eyes opened. You heard me, she said in his mind. What are you? Eli asked, shocked. My name is Rivka. I'm not from here. I crashed. They're coming for me. Suddenly, a sound came from behind the trees, strange footsteps. Not human. Please, she said again, if I bond with you, will you let me in? What does that mean? Eli asked. It means I will be inside your mind. You will feel what I feel. I will share my power with you. But only if you accept. And if I don't, then I will die. And they will find you next. Eli looked around. The forest grew darker. The sounds were closer now. Red lights moved through the trees. Soldiers, but not Earth soldiers. Their armor was black, their eyes glowing red. He had seconds to decide. He looked at the girl, Rivka. She was scared, bleeding blue light from her arms. But her eyes were full of hope. If I say yes, will it hurt? He asked. Maybe, she said. But I will protect you, I promise. He swallowed. His heart pounded in his chest. He had never done anything big in his life. But now something inside him said, do it. Yes, he said. Rivka smiled weakly. She reached out and touched his forehead. A wave of energy hit him. His eyes burned. His mind exploded with images, stars, galaxies, pain, joy. He felt her memories, her fears, her voice, deep inside him, and just like that, the bond was made. Suddenly, Eli could see the enemies before they arrived. He felt their anger, their mission. They were called the Vreek, and they wanted Rivka dead. Eli grabbed her hand. We need to run. But Rivka couldn't walk. My leg is broken. Eli didn't stop. He picked her up, even though she felt strangely heavy, like energy. Not weight. They ran through the forest, his vision sharper, his strength stronger. He was changing because of the bond. Laser shots hit the trees around them. One shot passed near his ear. The Vreek were fast. Left. Rivka shouted in his head. He turned left and rolled down a hill, protecting her body. They landed near a small stream. For a moment, silence. Then, the sounds faded. The Vreek had lost. Then Eli looked at her. Are you okay? She nodded slowly. The bond is weak. But it's working. Why me? He asked. Why choose me? Rivka looked at him with tired eyes. Because you were the only one who listened. Dark clouds moved across the sky. Thunder rumbled far away. The forest was cold and quiet again. But something had changed. Eli Carter sat beside a small cave, breathing hard. His clothes were torn, his arms cut from the fall, but he didn't care. In his arms was Rivka, the alien girl who had bonded with him. Her skin was glowing faint blue now, but her eyes stayed closed. She was alive, but weak. Eli placed her gently on the ground inside the cave. Rain started to fall outside. He leaned back, trying to calm his racing heart. His hands were still shaking, but not from fear, from power. His mind felt different. He could still feel her inside his head. It was like a second heartbeat, soft but always there. "Can you hear me?" he whispered. No answer. But then, a memory that wasn't his flashed through his eyes. He saw a golden planet with 3 suns, tall white trees, children playing in floating gardens, and Rivka laughing with someone who looked just like her. Eli gasped. "That wasn't my dream." "No," said a quiet voice in his mind. "It was mine." He turned quickly. Rivka's eyes were now open, glowing softly in the dark. "You're awake," Eli said, relieved. She nodded slowly. "The bond is active now." I shared that memory. To test it, Eli sat down beside her, confused. "Why am I seeing your past?" "Because our minds are touching now," she said. "That's what the merge does. You're inside my world, and I'm inside yours." Rivka tried to sit up, but winced in pain. Eli helped her gently. "Are you okay?" "My leg will heal soon," she said. "But I need to stay close to you. The bond is not stable yet. If we separate too far, it breaks." Eli frowned. "And what happens if it breaks?" She looked into his eyes. "One of us dies." A silence fell between them. Outside the cave, the rain grew heavier. A distant red light flashed in the sky. "They're still looking for you," Eli said. "For us now," Rivka replied. "When I bonded with you, I passed a part of me into your body. That's why you feel stronger. But it also means they can trace us both." Eli looked at his hands. They didn't look different, but he felt different. "So I'm part alien now, part me," she said softly. "Part something new." A sudden loud beep came from Eli's backpack. It was his old phone, completely broken 2 years ago. But now, it was glowing. He pulled it out, shocked. "What the? This hasn't worked in years." The screen turned blue, and Rivka's symbol appeared, a spiral made of 3 stars. "They're using your tech now," Rivka said. "Our bond is activating hidden frequencies." Eli stared at her. "This is insane. I was just a normal guy yesterday." "You're not normal anymore," she said. Suddenly, a sound echoed near the cave. Crunch. Crunch, crunch. Footsteps. Eli quickly stood and turned off the light. "Is it them?" he whispered. Rivka closed her eyes, focusing. "No, not Vreek. Something else. Someone human." They both listened. The footsteps stopped. Then a deep voice called out, "We're here to help. Step out with your hands up." Eli looked at Rivka. She shook her head. "That's a lie." "How do you know?" I felt it in his thoughts. "He wants to capture me." Eli clenched his fists. "Then we don't go out." Rivka nodded. "Time to learn what the merge can do." Suddenly, Rivka's eyes glowed brighter. A small orb of light appeared between her hands. "Take it," she said. Eli reached out and touched it, and the light moved into his chest. He gasped. Suddenly, his hearing became sharper. He could hear the raindrops hitting the leaves outside. He could hear 3 hearts beating, his, Rivka's, and someone else's nearby. "What was that?" he asked, amazed. "Your first skill." "We call it perceive," Rivka said. "It helps you feel the world the way I do." Eli smiled slightly. "That's kind of cool." But Rivka's face was serious. "We don't have time for cool. The Vreek will come with more than one, and if they capture me, they'll take the bond from you, painfully." Eli nodded slowly. "Then we don't let them." The cave was dark. The rain fell harder now, But inside, two minds, human and alien, had joined. Something ancient was waking. Something powerful, and somewhere in the sky. The Vreek had found their signal. "They're coming," Rivka whispered. "Then let them," Eli said, his eyes glowing faintly blue. Darkness had a new sound. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't the rain. It was the sound of something searching. Ellie crouched beside a dying fire deep in the forest. The small cave behind him was now a temporary shelter. Cold wind blew through the trees. Every sound felt louder now, like the forest was holding its breath. Inside, Rivka sat with her eyes closed, floating an inch above the ground. A soft blue light pulsed from her skin. "They are getting closer," she whispered without opening her eyes. 3 Vreek scouts, no machines, on foot, hunting by smell and thought. Eli tightened his grip on the sharp piece of metal he had found in the crash zone. "What do they want from you?" he asked. "Not from me," she said, "from us. The bond. They want it before it grows stronger. If they take it now, it breaks easily. And if they don't?" Eli asked. Rivka opened her eyes. "Then we become something they can't control." Suddenly, Eli felt a sharp stab in his head. Not pain, a memory. It wasn't his. He saw a planet with red skies. Children locked in glass cells. Vreek soldiers pulling alien bodies apart, searching for something glowing in their hearts. Gasped and stumbled back. "What was that?" "My memory," Rivka said. "The Vreek used to be like me, peaceful, but they cut themselves off from the bond and became monsters. Now they harvest it from others." Ailey looked at her. "And now they want to take it from us?" Rivka nodded. "Piece by piece, until nothing is left." Footsteps. Crunching leaves. Eli stood. Rivka floated down slowly, her eyes glowing again. "We don't have much time," she said. "Can we fight them?" he asked. "Not yet. You're still too human." "Gee, thanks," Rivka smiled faintly. "That was a joke, I think. I'm still learning humor." Eli smirked despite the fear. "You're getting better at it." They moved fast through the trees. Rivka leaned on Eli. Though she was healing, her strength came and went in waves. As they ran, Eli noticed something strange. The world looked clearer, colors sharper. He could feel every root under his feet. He could sense movement behind trees. "I'm faster," he said. "The bond is adjusting your senses," Rivka said. "Your brain is starting to catch up." They stopped near an old ranger station. Broken windows, rusted tools, and an old radio. Rivka pointed. "We can hide here, but only for a short time." Inside, they found a dusty room with a broken metal door. Eli helped her sit down. The moment her hand touched the ground, the room lit up blue for a second, her energy reacting with the space. Then silence, until knocked out once, twice. The door creaked open. A man in dark clothing stepped inside, holding a scanner. His face was calm, too calm. "You're not safe here," the man said. "Come with me. I'm with Earth's off-world security. We've been tracking this alien signal." Eli looked at Rivka. She shook her head once, very slowly. "He's lying," she said telepathically. The man smiled. "She can hear me, can't she? Tell her I'm not here to hurt her." Rivka stood up weakly. "You have the mark of the Vreek." The man blinked, then his eyes turned black. In seconds, his body twisted, skin shifting into metal plates. Not a man. A Vreek hunter in disguise. Eli moved in front of Rivka. "I don't know what you are, but you're not taking her." The Vreek smiled. "You bonded early, good. That means your mind will be tastier." It moved fast, too fast, but Eli was ready. He raised his hand without thinking, and the air shimmered. A shield of blue light blocked the attack. Both Eli and the Vreek were shocked. "I didn't know I could do that," Eli said. "Neither did I," Rivka said softly. "The bond is evolving." The Vreek hissed, stepping back. Interesting. Very dangerous. It disappeared into black smoke. Gone. The silence returned. Eli fell to his knees. His hand was still glowing. Did I really do that? Rivka walked over, touched his shoulder. Yes, you're beginning to wake up. Eli looked at her. What am I becoming? She smiled. Something new. Something not human. Not alien. Something in between. And what happens if I lose control? Her voice was gentle. Then I will bring you back. Outside, the forest was no longer quiet. In the sky, a ship moved slowly through the clouds. Black, silent, scanning. Rivka looked up. The real hunt has begun. Asterisk, the rain had stopped, but the silence was louder than any storm. Eli stood on the edge of an abandoned road, breathing in the cold air. Behind him, the forest was still smoking from the Vreek hunter's sudden escape. Beside him, Rivka watched. The sky with narrowed eyes. Her silver hair clung to her face, still wet from the night. Her energy had faded. She was tired and hiding it. You should rest, Eli said quietly. I can't, she replied. They're changing tactics. Sending spies instead of ships. Eli nodded, looking up at the dull gray sky. So. We don't know who to trust. Rivka turned to him. We never did. They walked until the trees opened into a wide valley. At the center stood a strange structure. Tall fences, rusted metal gates, cameras covered in vines. A hidden base, but this one had lights on. A black drone hovered above the entrance. Suddenly, a calm voice echoed from a speaker nearby. Eli. Carter, we know you're with her. We don't want to hurt you. We want to talk. Eli froze. They know my name. Rivka stepped back. This isn't good. Before they could run, the gate opened, and out walked a woman, mid-40s, military boots, clean uniform, calm eyes. I'm Commander Rain. I'm with Earth Defense Initiative. We've been monitoring the alien activity here for years. She held her hands up, unarmed. We're not Vreek, and we're not here to capture. We're here to help. Rivka didn't move. Her voice echoed inside Eli's head. She's different. I can't read her thoughts. That means she's blocking me. Very few humans can do that. Is that bad? Eli asked. It's dangerous. Still, Eli stepped forward. If you want to help, prove it. She's injured. I'm exhausted. Give us shelter. Commander Rain gave a slight smile. You'll be safe here. For now. Inside the base, everything was clean and cold. Eli didn't trust it. The lights were too bright. The silence too perfect. They were taken to a small medical room. Rivka lay down, and machines began scanning her. She flinched but stayed still. Eli watched through the glass. Behind him, Commander Rain stood quietly. You're not surprised by her, are you? He asked. Rain shook her head. We've seen her kind before, once. What happened to them? Rain looked straight at him. They didn't make it. Eli's chest tightened. Later in a quiet room, Eli sat alone, no windows. Just walls, and a blinking red light in the corner. He touched his chest. The bond still glowed faintly inside him. He could feel Rivka's emotions, fear, confusion, and something else. Anger. She doesn't trust them, Eli whispered. Suddenly, the door opened. Two scientists walked in. We're going to run a few tests, one said. What kind of tests? Eli asked. They didn't answer. Before he could move, the room filled with gas. He coughed. Then everything went black. When Eli woke up, he was strapped to a metal table. Alarms were ringing somewhere far away. Lights flickered. A voice screamed in his head. Eli, wake up. They're lying. They're Vreek, in disguise. Rivka? He shouted inside his mind. I broke containment. I'm coming to get you. Stay awake. Footsteps approached. Commander Rain entered, but her eyes were different. Now black. Hollow. Not human anymore. You bonded too fast, she said calmly. Now we'll have to remove it the hard way. She reached out, her hand turning into sharp bone. But just then, the wall behind her exploded. A pulse of blue energy shattered the room. Rivka floated in, her body glowing with light and rage. Touch him, she said coldly, and I erase. You, Rain hissed, backed away, and then transformed into her true form, a Vreek mimic. It screamed and vanished into the vents. Eli coughed, trying to sit up. How did you? The bond, Rivka said, helping him up. You're stronger than you think. That's why they're scared. They tricked me. They tricked both of us. They escaped into the forest again before the base could reboot. Smoke followed them. But no soldiers, just the wind. They stopped at a quiet hilltop under a broken moon. Eli looked at her. You came for me, Rivka nodded. I would have broken every wall. Why? Because I chose you. And I don't regret it. She sat beside him, the light in her chest pulsing slowly. Eli, yeah, they'll come again, in bigger numbers. With stronger lies. Then next time, Eli said, we'll be ready. High above in Earth's orbit. A Vreek warship slowly uncloaked, and inside, a voice hissed. Begin the full invasion. Target, bonded human. Power does not always come with warning, sometimes. It just wakes up. It had been 3 days since they escaped the fake base. 3 days of hiding in the ghost town of Marlow, a forgotten place surrounded by desert and silence. Empty houses. No power, no people. Just dust and memories. But something was changing inside Eli. Each night, he heard things he shouldn't hear. Felt things that weren't his. The bond was no longer a quiet voice. It was a living presence, breathing with him. Sometimes, when he slept, he dreamed of stars. Sometimes, he didn't know if he was dreaming or remembering. Rivka watched him from a distance. She no longer hovered or glowed. She sat like a shadow, calm but alert. As if waiting. One morning, Eli stood by a broken mirror in an old gas station. His reflection blinked. Half a second after. He did. Rivka, he called. I think something's wrong. She appeared beside him instantly. No, something's waking up. Eli stared at the mirror. I don't know who I am anymore. Rivka stepped closer, placing her hand on his chest. You are Eli Carter. And you are not alone. Her touch sent warmth through his body, but it also unlocked a memory. He saw her past again, the day her planet fell. Her mother screaming, blue light pouring from the skies. Rivka running with a younger sibling who didn't survive. Eli stepped back, breathing hard. I didn't mean to. It's okay, she said. The bond shares truth, even when we don't want it. So you lost your family, Eli whispered. I didn't lose them, Rivka said. They were taken, just like the Vreek want to take you. Later that day, Eli climbed to the roof of the gas station. He closed his eyes. If you're really inside me, he said, show me how to fight. Nothing. A heartbeat inside his mind. His feet lifted off the ground, just an inch. His body glowed faint blue. Rivka appeared below, watching. You're learning faster than I expected, she said. No, Eli replied. I'm remembering, like it was always there, she smiled. That's because your mind is not fully human anymore. You were chosen. Not just by me, by the bond itself. Suddenly, the sky cracked with thunder, but no storm followed. Instead, a ship dropped like a blade from the clouds. Black and burning red, silent, deadly. Eli's eyes widened. They found us, Rivka looked up. Not a ship, a hunter. Elite class. The ship didn't land. It imploded, folding into a humanoid figure that floated above the road. It wore no face, no name, just a shifting mask of metal. Its voice scraped the air. The bonded one, come out. Eli stepped forward, trembling. I'm not ready. You are, Rivka said. Because if you're not, we both die. The Vreek hunter raised a hand. The ground cracked. Sand turned into spikes. Eli lifted his arms to shield himself, and blue fire erupted from his palms, pushing the attack back. The hunter paused. So, you've touched the core. I've done more than that, Eli said, surprised by his own voice. He blinked and saw glowing circles in the air. Energy lines, patterns, what are these? He asked. Instinct, Rivka said. Your mind sees the world in code now. The hunter charged. Eli moved like water. Not trained, but guided. His body knew what his brain didn't. He leapt into the air, spun mid-air. Blasted the hunter with a beam of light, but missed. The hunter struck back. A metal spike pierced Eli's side. He screamed. Rivka gasped and fell to her knees. When you bleed, I feel it, she whispered. Eli coughed, pushing through the pain. Then we don't bleed again. He closed his eyes and let go. Suddenly, everything stopped. The wind froze. The hunter floated in slow motion. Eli walked through the air like it was water. This is the core, a voice said inside his mind. He turned. It was himself, or a version of him, glowing, calm, in control. You're not using power. You are power now. Accept it. Eli reached out, touched his own chest. Light exploded. In real time, a blast of blue-white energy ripped across the valley. The hunter was thrown into the sky. Broken. Eli collapsed. Rivka ran to him. His body shook, burned, but he was alive. Barely. You did it, she said. I didn't do it alone, Eli whispered. They sat together in silence. Above them, the hunter's remains melted into smoke, but they knew it wasn't the last. Not even close. I used something, Eli said. Something inside me I don't understand. That was the beginning, Rivka replied. But power always has a price. What's mine? She looked at him, a shadow passing over her face. You'll find out soon. Far away, the Vreek High Command watched the footage from the Phi Hunter's memory. One of them hissed. The bond has reached phase 2, another replied. Then send the infiltrator. Asterisk, the sky didn't turn dark. It turned quiet, like the world knew something was about to end. Eli stood at the edge of the mountain ridge, overlooking a valley of stone and silence. Below him, shadows moved, not animals, not humans. Vrek. Hundreds of them. No more hiding. No more running. This was where it ended, or began. Behind him, inside an old observatory tower, Rivka placed her hand on a metal beacon. It flickered weakly. This will send a signal to my people, she said. But it needs more time. Eli nodded. His chest burned where the bond lived. His breath came in short waves. He was stronger now, but not invincible. How much time? 12 minutes, Rivka replied. Eli laughed bitterly. They'll be on top of us in 5. She walked to him, eyes glowing faint blue. Her face was calm, but he could feel her fear inside the bond. Not fear of death, but of losing him. There's another way, she whispered. We fuse fully. Eli turned to her. I thought we already did. She shook her head. No, what we have now is a thread. Fusion is fire. We become one. Mind, body, soul. What's the price? We may never come back as we were. Then who would we be? Rivka stepped closer. Something the Vreek cannot predict. Down below, the Vreek forces were forming a wide circled dot in the center. A figure hovered, not metal, not flesh. The infiltrator, a living storm of thought and violence. A being built to break minds before it breaks bodies. And it had one purpose. Separate the bond. Kill the host. Take the core. Eli closed his eyes. Let's do it. Rivka took his hands. A pulse of white-blue light surrounded them. The world spun. For a moment, Eli wasn't Eli. He was her. He saw through Rivka's eyes as a child, dancing in gravity-free gardens. He tasted her joy, her terror, her silence. Then, he saw himself from her view, a boy who chose to stay. When the light faded, Eli opened his eyes again. But now, they glowed like stars. And Rivka was gone, not dead. Inside him, the infiltrator rose into the sky, and the valley shook. Energy blasts rained from the Vreek lines. Dust exploded. Trees lit up like paper, but Eli didn't move. He walked slowly, deliberately. Each step cracked the ground. "Who are you?" The infiltrator's voice echoed. Eli's voice echoed back, layered with Rivka's. "We are the bond, the last spark, the beginning and the end." The infiltrator charged. So did Eli. They collided mid-air, and the mountain screamed. The battle was not seen. It was felt. Waves of energy shattered rocks. The sky turned white. The observatory tower exploded, sending light into the heavens. The beacon flickered. Then, it lit. Above Earth, in deep space. A fleet stirred. A signal reached them. Rivka's people had heard. Help was coming, but would it be too late? Back on Earth, the battle raged. Eli's body was breaking, skin cracked with glowing light, eyes burning with power. The fusion was eating him alive. Inside his mind, Rivka spoke. "You have to stop now. We're winning." "Yes, but at the cost of your soul." "Then take it. You lead now." She paused. "No, I won't lose you to this." And just like that, the fusion reversed. The light cracked open. Two forms split in midair, Eli and Rivka, falling separately. The explosion knocked back the infiltrator, melting half its face. But it wasn't dead. It rose again, limping, crawling. "You cannot stop us," it hissed. Eli stood, bleeding, broken, but smiling. "We don't have to." Behind him, the sky opened. Ships arrived, bright, silent, watching. Rivka's people, the Vreek, hesitated. The infiltrator looked up, and for the first time, felt fear. A beam of light struck the ground, and the valley was erased in a single flash. Silence followed, real silence. Later, Eli woke up inside a glowing room. He turned his head. Rivka sat beside him, alive, tired, smiling. "You came back," he said. "So did you." They looked out the window. Stars, beyond stars. Earth below. "It's over?" Eli asked. Rivka shook her head. "No, it's just changed. What now?" She looked at him. Eyes full of light. "Now we see what the bond was really meant for." Far across the stars, something ancient opened its eyes. Something that had felt the bond and wanted it for itself. It didn't feel like victory. It felt quiet. Too quiet. Eli stood alone beneath a silver sky, inside a ship that wasn't built by human hands. The walls pulsed softly. The air hummed. Everything here was alive, just like Rivka's people. He should have felt amazed. He should have felt safe, but all he felt was the weight of something ending. Rivka sat across from him in a circle of light. Her eyes were dimmer now, her glow fading. She hadn't spoken in hours, and the bond was silent. Not broken, but distant, like someone slowly stepping away. "You haven't looked at me," Eli said quietly. She didn't move. "You told me the bond never ends. So why does it feel like you're already gone?" Rivka finally raised her head. "Because it's time." She stood and walked to the edge of the viewing window. Outside, Earth floated, blue, peaceful, unaware. "The Vreek are retreating," she said. "But not defeated. More will come. My people will stay, hidden in the dark, watching." "And me?" Eli asked. "You'll go home." He shook his head. "I'm not the same. Home doesn't fit me anymore." "It's not supposed to," she said gently. "You changed. So the world will change around you." He stepped closer. "So that's it? You just leave?" She closed her eyes. "Eli, the bond saved me, and it saved you. But now it's too strong. If we stay connected like this, you'll burn." "Then let me burn," he whispered. She turned, and this time she was crying. "Don't say that. You gave me a life I never thought I'd have. But if I stay, you won't get yours. You are my life. No, she said. I was your beginning. A silence passed, and then she asked, if I let go, will you let me? He didn't answer. Coulden, single quotes T. But she already knew. She walked over, placed her hand on his heart, and he felt it, the bond stretching, thinning, breaking, like two souls exhaling. I'll forget you, he whispered. No, you'll remember me in quiet ways. Like what? Like how the wind sounds different now. Or how stars feel closer, she smiled. Like how you'll never be afraid of being alone again. Because I'll always be part of your silence. The light around them pulsed one last time. She stepped back. Close your eyes, she said. Why? Because I want the last image you see to be mine. He did. And he felt it, warmth fading, like sunlight slipping past fingers, and then nothing. No sound. No voice. No glow. Just stillness. Eli opened his eyes. She was gone. A moment later, a small ship docked. Two members of her species nodded to him respectfully. One of them placed a hand on his shoulder. She chose you well, the being said. The bond left a seed. You will feel it when Earth needs it again. Eli nodded, empty inside. Will I ever see her again? The being didn't answer, just smiled and left. The return to Earth was silent. No one knew what he had done. No one saw the Vreek vanish from orbit. No one felt the loss in his chest, but Eli knew, and sometimes knowing was enough. Weeks passed. Eli returned to Ravenhill, to the roof of his house, to the quiet town with loud memories. But he wasn't alone, because every night he heard the wind say her name. Every morning he woke with stars behind his eyes, and once, just once, as he stood in the forest where it all began, he heard a voice. I'm still here, he smiled. I know. And then he walked forward, not to chase her, but to live. Because sometimes love isn't about holding on. It's about becoming what the other gave you.